when we met, he literally had no money.
Yeah, he was a pauper, we know that.
Yes. So life was quite something, eh?
Try your part. Wait.
He was. He was.
I knew hapa tu there, hapa. I'm not running for the money because anajua tu hakuna.
Hapa kuna. So guys, you guys dated for all that while you got married. Is it important for people to date?
Yes, I feel it.
And what are the benefits? Okay, what are the benefits? What are the real benefits? If you are to one or two that you are to say, do people really need to date? What are the benefits of dating?
One, I would say emotional intimacy. If that relationship is to go anywhere, I feel dating really plays a big role in you being close. It's just that closeness. Oh, this is my friend. This is someone I want to be with for the rest of my life. You know, that emotional closeness and intimacy plays a big role in ensuring that your relationship actually works out in the way God desires for it to work out. And in fulfilling God's purposes in your life. Because once you date, you get to know the other side of that person's story, where they're coming from. Because we come from very different backgrounds, different age, whatever, different upbringing. Therefore, if you just meet and say, the Lord spoke to me, let's get married, 6 months, yes, let's start the process. You know, that is going to really like carry dating into marriage. And then that's when people now start saying, oh, marriage is hard. The first year of marriage is usually hell. I think you can be able to save yourself from that hell of first year of marriage by good dating. And that is doing your homework, doing your background check of who's this person. Not just looking good in restaurants, that whole Instagram posting and stuff, but doing the background real checks of just being in that person's space continuously. Okay, not in a nagging way, but in a frequent basis to just know who is this guy.
Keith, I'm told you're an authentic guy. You know, you say it's one thing she loves about you is for consistency, but also the reason why she was drawn to you is the authenticity that came out of you. Yeah. What is authentic dating according to you?
Authentic.
Now, because you're an authentic man, what is authentic dating?
It's being comfortable with the worst side of the other person, and that can't happen if you only meet once every 3 months and you meet in Java. Even comes with the best story.
The best side.
For the social media.
Yes.
But authentic dating is who I am, this is where I serve, this is the home I come from, this is, and not really even telling them, it's what you show them and allow them to see. So a lot of people don't authentically date because they're trying to put up an image. So the person you're dating falls in love with an image and not you. When they get to discover you, they fall out of love. So for the ladies, don't try too much to put up an image so that he can like you. Be the real version of yourself, and the authentic people will love that real version. So that's the purpose of that. I'd say that's one of the reasons for having a good dating season.
And a dating season, and also an authentic one where you just really reach each other.
And also allowing your circles to get to know the person.
Yeah.
Because if you go to if you're the person you're dating is a frog, in every room you walk in, someone says they saw a frog. Hey. It must be a frog. So sometimes when you're dating someone and you're the only one looking at them, you only see one side of them. But if you allow the person to be seen from so many angles, you'll be able to see. If you hear the same comment from people who've never met, then it's true.
Yeah, something else that's amazing, and something else that I would love just to ask you guys. So are we supposed to actively look for somebody that you want to date and marry, or should we wait for God to direct us to being that person? Where is the part of us? Because when I hear what you guys, anyway, maybe let me not, when I hear you guys, you're meeting up and everything, it leaves somebody outside there and is just wondering, your story looks so nice. Your story looks heavenly. Things just falling into place and just a wonder. So are we supposed to actively look for somebody to date that eventually will marry, or are we supposed to wait on God to bring that person?
We had a question in our PMCC class.
Mm-hmm.
We asked the couples,
Mm-hmm.
what brought you together?
Mm-hmm.
And a good percentage of them said of how they met,
Mm-hmm.
not what brought them together.
Mm-hmm.
The difference of what and how,
Mm-hmm.
the how, if I put you in any context long enough,
Mm-hmm.
and if I put you with someone long enough, you can fall in love with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But the what is what's driving your life,
Mm-hmm.
what are you all about?
Mm-hmm.
And once you clarify that, it becomes very easy to lock out who's not meant for the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're playing a game and you're looking for a teammate.
Mm-hmm.
By knowing what kind of weaknesses you have, you know whom you to bring on board.
Mm-hmm.
So for young people, I'd say,
Mm-hmm.
discover your what
Mhm.
and pursue it passionately.
Mm-hmm.
And the person who's meant to support you in that dream
Mhm.
will the only one who will qualify.
Mm.
There are so many girls I was around,
Mhm.
but none of them were interested in music,
Mhm.
mentorship until now.
Mm-hmm.
And looking back, I'm like, if I'd married any of them,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't have worked. So I wouldn't say be actively pursuing a person,
Mm.
actively pursue a passion.
Mm. Mm. Come back again, bro. Yeah, maybe I'm not had about that. But if it comes to say, you should not pursue a person, but pursue your passion.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing,
And
amazing.
your person will join in your
Passion. Your passion.
will join in your
Passion. Yeah.
passion.
Passion.
Yes.
I'm amazing, and getting to hear that, because some people actively, they feel, hey, in fact, this Bible, they'll say, he who finds. So I'm in the business of finding, and also on one hand, they're like, oh, you're being told wait on the Lord. So wait, that difference between waiting and maybe for ladies, sometimes you are told to wait, you cannot pursue. Or you cannot find. How did you in your context just being or how do you can tell people what to do, or also applying with your example? So did you wait on the Lord? Did you pursue, or what?
Yes, I would say I waited on the Lord, but you see, waiting on the Lord is not just doing nothing. It's not being lazy. It's not sitting on a couch, sitting pretty, doing your nails, looking all done for someone to just come and say, wow, what a beautiful thing. No, it's really functioning in your purpose, because that's what makes you beautiful.
Function in your purpose.
Yes,
Makes you beautiful.
function in your purpose. Delve deep. Throw yourself at whatever you believe God called you for. And right there, that's where your man is. Yes, right there, in your passion, in your purpose. Right there where God called you. Because for me, I wasn't, truthfully speaking, if you asked me 10 years ago if I was going to get married at 25, I'll definitely tell you no. My idea was 28, 29 there. But because I wasn't really actively looking for someone.
And it brings me to a question.
Yes.
What is the right age
time
for dating? And let me underscore this.
Yes.
What is the right time for having a romantic relationship or a romantic dating?
Now, tough question. I wouldn't put, honestly, timelines to it, because God is the one who ushers times and seasons in different people's lives, based on where you come from, based on what God has exposed you to, your experiences with God, your experiences with man, just where you're coming from, what God has in store for you. Therefore, it's different for different people. Therefore, on that, I would say rely on the Holy Spirit to guide you on what and at what point to make that step, especially when there's peace and constant peace in your heart concerning someone that you really love, and you feel you will do much more when you join forces now in marriage. Then truly you will be an unbeatable and formidable force as you conquer the world together. So I think I would say listen to the Holy Spirit and allow Him to guide you through. Don't force anything, especially for ladies. Sometimes our insecurities kick in. That instinct for time. Time is running out. I'm 31. I'm celebrating my 35th birthday. And there's no one in sight, and there's panic sets in and desperation, and that stinks on anyone. Everyone, especially for men, I'm sure. For a lady who's very desperate to be in a relationship, and they marry you because you are so desperate, you pushed it too hard,
Mm.
then that's a really bad place to be
Mm.
as a woman. Therefore, I would truly say, just wait on the Lord, be of good courage.
Mm.
Truly, marriage is not the only thing or the only place where your purpose can be enhanced or fulfilled.
Amazing.
Therefore, depend on the plan.
Of God.
Leading of God.
Wow, good, Keith. There's a question here. Is there such a thing as soulmates? And does God have one specific person for you to marry?
Hakuna githeri, kuna mmoja wa githeri. Ukikataa hii,
Alafu, guys normally use the scripture, cast your net. Right, cast your net, man. Utashika tilapia, utashika mbuta, utashika. Anyway.
God is diverse. God is limitless. And Psalms 84:11 inasema, the Lord is a sun and shield, he bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those who walk upright. So if you're walking upright and a girl or boy says no, God is like, hey, relax. I have more than enough options for you. The only thing we need to be careful of is ungodly. Because if a person is ungodly, then automatically, and will be automatically and equally yoked. But in the house of God, if you trust God, there are more than enough people. If Anne had refused to get married to me, or refused, or vice versa, God would have still found someone and said, you know what, she's still my daughter, he's still my son, and I'll still sort him out. So if a relationship didn't work out, God has more than one person that he can sort you out with. I think it was Elijah alpanambia God, oh, I'm the only one, shaking me na kufuata peke yangu. I have 7,000 other people who can do exactly what I've called you to do. So if someone is pretending that, oh, I'm the only one you can marry, not before God. You can't boast before God. So that should give us assurance that if a relationship didn't work, God has still people he can send my way to pursue his purposes together. Yeah.
And even as you come to a close, in your relationship, thank God you guys never broke up. But there are guys who are watching us here who had gone through various whatever and they've broken up with a number. By the way, I should have asked this. Maybe not count how many relationships were before, but you guys had gone through a breakup before. Maybe I'll want to hear, are there reasons for breakup? Are there reasons actually for breakup relationship? And how do we actually come out of a breakup and pursue? Because you went through one, perhaps you went through one, I don't know, but let us know. And how did you come out of it and say, now let me date again? So anyone can start, any of you.
Hey, what?
This is on two.
We should come back season 2 for breakups and whatever. We're just touching base. Don't give us. We'll come back talk about breakups and whatever. Yes.
So in summary, before I met Keith, that was in 2016. I had my heart broken in pieces. Yes, Paragasha kind of thing. I hoped the relationship would go somewhere. It's actually someone, he was clergy, a man of God. Not to say anything about, no, actually I respect men of God. But this one blew me off. I honestly thought it would work out. Perhaps I was ignorant of the fact that, I thought, well, you're a pastor. Shouldn't you have everything figured out? Hasn't God revealed everything to me, So I was coming from that point. So he asked me out when I was 18.
When you're 18?
Well, imagine. And I was so convinced that yes, I should actually go ahead and announce. I actually went to my parents and announced I'm getting married to this guy. Yes, I was that bold. My parents, you see that look? That's exactly
at 18.
My dad
at 18.
Say the words dad.
Hey, I have a story, but anyways.
No, we'll come back for that story. We're just giving the juice. We'll come back.
Yes.
I've gotten 2 stories we'll come back for later. We'll have a shoot for that one.
Yes. So that one when I was 18, of course, it just went south. We couldn't go anywhere with that. So after 3 years is when we got to touch base on Facebook, Messenger, and I thought actually he was out of the country, but he was still within. So we touched base for about 1 month, 2 months. We said, yeah, let's try this thing called dating. Let's see how it goes. So first month good, second month good, and then third month it it was quite much like hell because there was communication breakdown. I would reach out to him on Facebook, WhatsApp, Messenger, just literally every platform that was available.
Not working
even
out.
Gmail. Who? Through Gmail.
But you tried.
Hey.
You said
I
that you what
tried.
character did you look into detail?
I was blue-ticked. I was, my calls were not picked. I mean, and it's not anything I thought I did. So I was blaming myself. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's me, or it's how I talked, or it's how maybe I'm too ambitious, or okay, maybe I'm taking this too fast. So it just went bad. It was communication and the other woman factor. The other woman factor that I did not know about because he was studying in Karen and I'm here in Drero, in church and everything. So he actually stood me up twice on a date. We arranged for a date and then things come up, he doesn't communicate friends, doesn't say nothing. So the next time when we actually scheduled for a date, I just decided to go through my date because I was the one making sacrifices for Cecile every single time. So it went
love is for the bad.
It went badly. So that month I was actually very depressed and very distraught, and I was asking God so many questions of how come, why is this going this way? I had met his parents. Imagine. I went all the way to
I think we should come back for your story. I think we should come back for your story. Maybe you should just tell us, how did you move on? Did you move on? Or you're still hurting?
Yes, I moved on. Yes, I would say I moved on. But one of the reasons why my dad is quite a funny man. So, because he was his friend on Facebook. So one night he just comes home and he's like, hey, now I got it. Is it this the man you are talking about? Now his wedding photo. I hadn't even seen it. His wedding photo with now another woman. So that's when it hit me. That was like 6 months after we broke up. That's when it hit me. Oh wait, so it was actually her. You know? So that was helped me for closure. And like, okay, now you're married. Good, well and good. May God bless your marriage. So that's really that's one of the things that helped me have closure with that relationship, and also just support. I talk to my parents. I don't hide things under the carpet and assume everything is okay. I went talk to my mom. I'm like, Mom, I'm not feeling well. This relationship is going bad. And my mom didn't really judge me or put whatever on me. So she listened, and through that I really cried. I used to really cry. I think it's okay to cry. So I really went through that quite differently. And after 1 year, I believe I would say, I gave myself time to heal. I was kind to myself and I said, I do not want to get into any dating relationship. So every man I would meet, I would be like, okay, yes, you're interested, that's great, but I'm not. And I'd be very categorical from the word go. I'm not searching for anyone. I'm going through a phase. I need time.
And then you met this guy.
Yes, so after 1 year and a few months, actually God helped him. Let me say that. God, through him, helped me to heal. Because
Amazing.
There's much that God deposited in him. And you just share like he's just sharing.
But he didn't even know.
He didn't even know.
But it was helping
me,
you.
But it was really helping me to just come back to that place where I can love again.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Keith, did you ever go through a breakup before, and how did you overcome? And now that you've dated and you've married, how did you overcome?
Yes, I went through a breakup back then. This dreamer, dreamers live in a world people don't understand. You're seeing things people can't see. I started something like a music academy, and it was just trying to peak. And back then I hadn't gone to campus. So I don't know if it still is, but people from Strathmore were the standard of a bright future. So now the girl I was interested in dropped me for this guy. I just dropped all the tools and said, why God? It was in church. The church context was very heartbroken, left church, went to a different congregation, and that's where actually I normally like to say that when your steps are ordered, your life is scheduled. That means wherever God needs you to be, He'll orchestrate events so you can be where He wants you to be. So I went to another church in Eagle's Nest. That's why my faith in God really grew. I learned a lot of.
And you found yourself here in Eagles again.
Yes, Eagles
amazing,
Nest.
amazing.
Yeah. So the disruption of that relationship made me to leave the church I was in back then. So I went to this church, and then my roots in God really grew. And many of the things I'm doing today can be traced back to that context. So to the guys out there, if you're going through a breakup, if you continue to trust in God. Psalms 34 verse 10, it says, young lions may suffer want and hunger, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. So if the person you in a relationship didn't work out, they were not good enough.
Amazing. Anne,
Yes.
camera ndio hiyo. Au wasichana, nataka uongeleshe. Just as a parting shot, what do you tell the young girls who are looking forward to marry, to get married, or even dating? What will you give them as an advice? And also after their kids will be also speaking to the young majamas also who are looking forward to date. So you have your camera.
Thank you. Oh, darlings, please, take your time. Take your time. This is a decision that has to do with the very core of your being. And us as women, emotions mean so much. So don't be very generous with it. Please take your time with whoever and whomever you desire to be with as a life mate. Take your time. If you see red flags, please halt. It's okay to ask. It's okay to feel like you're not ready for it. Take a step back, take a chill pill, consult God, consult people who are in touch and in communication with God, and step by step, allow the Holy Spirit to lead you through every decision you make. Please bury yourself in God. Be busy with your passion. Let us see you passionate about what God has called you for. Don't wait for a man to kickstart you in that dimension. You start whatever thing God has called you for. Please throw yourself at it and you will see God coming through for you. Yes, that's what I'd say. But all the best to those who have been heartbroken. It's okay to speak up. I'm a therapist. If you would need to speak to someone, or you feel you can't go through maybe a certain breakup, or someone has left you quite in a mess, please feel free to reach out. If it's okay, I can share my number. My number is on the screen, 0708035410.
Yeah.
That's my Safaricom line. Please reach out to me, WhatsApp, text, or call. That will be okay, and we can have a chat. Let's just, please don't be quiet about it. Speak about it, share, and let's see where God will take you.
Yes, Keith. What will you advise these young boys, man?
Guys, using the story of Adam, it was God who introduced Eve to Adam. It was not Eve who introduced God to Adam. It's a tree. God, this is God, Eve, Adam. It was God who introduced Eve to Adam. It was not Eve who introduced God to Adam. Hope you understood. What I'm simply saying is, the person that God has in store for you, He will bring them to you. You don't have to stop what you're doing for them to come. So God has your plan, He has your purpose, He has your mission. As you pursue your master, He'll reveal the mission, and that mission will identify your mate.
Amazing, amazing. That has been an amazing conversation with these wonderful guys, Anne and Keith. There's so much we've learned, and I just feel we need to have more. Maybe now just on specific area. I really want to hear your story of breaking up, and just hear how also keep maybe your story of how the father issue and everything, how it just influenced and who you've become today. Because if someone looks to you, interacts with you today, you can't really tell this is a man who hasn't grown up with a man. Because sometimes they say the way a man affects your growing up, but you can see. Wow, a solid man, and I think we'll come back to have conversation on that one again. But I am so happy you guys came. I'm happy that someone there is connecting with your story. Someone there is getting in the advice. And to all of us, we say here at Eagle's Nest, basically we're here to, to reflect. What you've had, please reflect on it. And then once you've reflected, you make a resolution on the advice and what you've had. And my prayer is that we retain. Many times we resolve, it's like we make New Year resolutions. We've reflected how 2020 was, and then after you've reflected, we resolve, we make some resolutions, then we never retain what you've resolved. My prayer is at least one thing you'll be able to retain that will be able to take you through. Whether you're looking forward into dating or into dating phase, this is ideas and inspiration for you. Thank you very much for just being part of the Relationship Garage today with Anne and Keith. It's been an amazing time, and I believe that you've been enlightened. And if Again, if you want just to find help, please reach out to us. And you have a story and you just want to come us to have a conversation with, Anne is here. You know, he said he willing to talk. Come, let's have your conversation here, and we'll find solutions to your problems. And above it all, God will lead and guide us. God bless you. God keep you. God sustain you. It's been amazing having you today. Baraka. Cheers.